you tired of losing points at the net? Maybe you're frustrated by being lobbed or passed. Well, if that's the case, then you've clicked on the right video, because I'm going to show you the 3 most common errors that tennis players make when they come forward and how to fix them. Hey everyone, Simon here with Top Tennis Trading. Now, a few weeks ago we asked tennis players around the world to send us their clips of themselves playing singles. So what we're going to do in the next few videos is break down some of the common errors that tennis players are making and how to fix them. So today's video is all about coming forward, where to position yourself, and how to finish those points at the net. Now, before we get any deeper into the lesson, if you're serious about improving your game and you haven't subscribed, make sure you go and do that right now, and also make sure that you turn on that notification bell so that YouTube will let you know whenever we release a new lesson. So common error number 1 is players coming forward and mistiming their split step or not having one at all. So in this first point, we'll see the player in the green cap hitting his forehand approach shot down the line. He comes forward and he gets lobbed.
Good ball. Oh, yeah.
Now he's timing his split step very late, and this is what costs him that whole point. So let's take a look. So pay close attention to when he's landing on his split step in comparison to the opponent's contact point right here. In this point, we'll see the lady in the white skirt approaching down the middle of the court. She moves in, but she split steps once again quite late, and she gets defeated with that backhand passing shot down the line. So let's take a look.
Yeah.
So in both of those points, you can see that the player is doing a split step, but they're timing it after the opponent has made contact. Now, when you think about coming forward, you're cutting the time that you have to react to your opponent's shot in half. So we have half the time when we come forward that we have when we're on the baseline. And that's why it's vital that you're timing that split step so that you're landing around the point of contact on the opponent's strings. So if I'm timing my split step, I'm landing after the opponent has actually hit the ball's already traveling towards me. Now I'm late with my split step. It's hard for me now to cover any type of ball that the opponent hits, because the ball's already 6 or 8 feet towards me. I've lost those initial milliseconds, and this is vital when you come forward because you have half the time. So this is why it's important to time that split step so that you're landing around the point of contact on your opponent's strings. So when my opponent makes contact, I'm already in this position and I'm ready to react to their ball, because around the time when I'm landing, the ball's going to be flying off their strings. Those first 4 or 5 feet that the ball travels, I'll already be able to pick up the direction of where the ball's going. Is it going to my forehand side? Is it going to my backhand side? Or is it coming up as a lob? If I lose those initial 5 or 6 feet of the ball flight from my opponent's strings towards my court, I'm already late. I've already defeated myself. I haven't given myself the best chance to actually win the point at the net. Now, both of these players, if they had timed their split step a little bit earlier, so if they had timed their split step so that they're landing just as their opponent makes contact, they would have a much better chance of reaching both of those balls. The player in the green cap, that lob that he was defeated with, he could have easily caught it if he was balanced when the opponent makes contact, and if he was ready to move in any direction. So why exactly is it so important to use a split step when you come forward, and also to time it correctly? Now, if I don't split step and I just run forward blindly, so I've hit my approach shot and I don't stop, now I can catch a ball that comes right towards me, so in the direction of my body, but anything to the right of my body, anything to the left, or anything coming over my head, I have no way of stopping, changing direction quickly enough, and then moving into the correct position. But by doing a split step, if I've hit the approach shot, I'm coming forward, I do my split step, now I can push off in any direction. can push off to my forehand volley, I can push off to my backhand volley, or I can push off for a lob. So you have a wide athletic base, you're on the balls of your feet, so you're not on your heels. So by being on the balls of my feet, I can now easily push off in any direction, and I'm also staying light. So sometimes you might not time that first split step perfectly. You might do it a little bit early, and you'll be stuck like this. And this is why a lot of the great volleyers, when they come forward, instead of just doing one split step, they'll do 2 or 3 mini split steps. So they're coming in, 1, 2, 3, and then they're ready to move. If you can time those small split steps, that will also help you to be more alert, to be lighter on your feet, and to be faster at reacting to those balls. Common error number 2 is players hitting their approach shot cross court when they don't have a valid reason to. Now what I mean with valid reason is there's a time and a place to hit your approach shot cross court. If you've got a short backhand and you know that your opponent's passing shot on the backhand side is weak, then you can approach cross court because you're putting the pressure onto the weaker side. Now if you have an opponent that's far out of the court on one side and you have a completely open court and space to hit into, then you can also hit your approach shot cross court. So there's a time and a place to go cross, but around 80% of your approach shots should be down the line. And there's a very simple reason why this is, but let's take a look at some examples firstly. So in this first example, we'll see the player with a green cap hitting his return. So he's returning a second serve, he's approaching cross court with that return, he's hitting into most players' strength, which is their forehand, and then he ends up picking up a low volley, but then losing the point. Now in the second point, we'll see the player on the opposite side. He's going to hit his approach shot cross court, he's coming in, and he gets passed down the line. Now when you come forward, the shot that you have to be most aware of is the down the line pass. And that's because we have the least amount of time to actually cover that down the line pass, and the ball never has to cross our body's line to actually defeat us. If your opponent hits a great shot cross court and passes you, the ball still has to come across your body's line, so there's still a chance for you to step across and actually reach that ball. But with down the line, the ball's always the same amount of distance away from us, and that's why the down the line pass is the one you have to be most aware of and you have to cover. So when you hit your approach shot cross court, what happens is if I hit my backhand now from here, cross court, I have to move into that green zone to actually cover the down the line pass. So this takes longer and I have more distance to cover before my opponent actually makes contact. And this is why by hitting my approach shot cross court, I'm actually giving myself a harder job to cover that down the line pass. So if I hit my backhand cross court, I have to move to here to cover the down the line pass with one step. If I hit my backhand approach down the line, now I have to just move to here to cover the down the line pass. So when you're going cross court, you have to have a very valid reason for hitting your approach shot cross court. If the opponent has a very weak backhand, I can hit my backhand approach cross court even though I'm giving up space and even though I'm giving them that down the line pass. And that's why 80% of your approach shots should be down the line, because now from here it's very easy for me to cover down the line with one step. And common error number 3 is players moving into the wrong position or waiting in the wrong position. So they might have an approach shot and they're hitting the approach shot but then moving into the wrong zone depending on the shot that they've actually hit. Or they've hit their first volley, they're already at the net and they're staying on the same spot. They're not moving into the right zone when they're already forward. So which zone should you be standing in when you're at the net? Now any ball that I hit into my opponent's forehand side, the right-handed player's forehand, I should be around here. So if the ball's on this side of the court, I should be here, covering my down the line pass. If I hit into the middle of the court, I should be around this red cone. Here. And any shot that I hit into the backhand wing of the right-handed player, I should be in this cone. This will ensure that I'm always covering the down the line. I'm always in the middle of my opponent's 2 best possible shots. Number 1 being that down the line pass, and number 2 being the cross-court angle pass. Now with the cross-court angle pass, because the ball is coming across my body's line, I have the ability to step out with the outside leg. So if it's coming to my forehand, I can go right leg, left leg, and cut off this angle. The same is true on the backhand side. If I'm here, I can go left leg, right leg, and cut off the angle. Notice also that I never move too close to the net, so around 6 to 8 feet will be your closing distance, and this is because if I get too close, the lob opens up to the opponent. It becomes very easy for them to beat me with that lob. Now what happens is you might stay around 6 to 8 feet behind the net, and then as you do your split step, you still have the time between the ball making contact on your opponent's strings to then reaching you to close down further. So I might split step here, but by the time I actually hit the volley, I'm 3 or 4 steps closer in, and this will allow me to knock off those short angles. So there you have it, 3 common errors that players are making when they come forward and how to fix them. I hope that this video will help you win more points in your own tennis matches, and I hope you've learned something new. If you have enjoyed the video, please click on that like button. It really helps us to grow the channel. It helps us to get the videos promoted more on YouTube, and we can reach more players. So make sure you click on that like button. Leave a comment down below as well. Which type of video would you like to see from us in the near future? Signing off, Simon from TTT. All the best and see you soon, guys.